This is an overview of the scroll saw. So we have a nice big work table. We have something called the workpiece foot. So this rod that connects down into here is our workpiece foot. Inside of that workpiece foot we have a blade. And you're going to notice that the blade is much smaller than the bandsaw blade. It's very, very thin. It has a lot more teeth than the bandsaw blade, which means we're going to get a finer cut. So it's not going to be nearly as rough as the bandsaw. Underneath the table, we have some of our controls. This is actually going to tilt the work table, and we can adjust that to a specific degree. We also have our on-off switch, and the knob is the blade speed control knob. So we can actually adjust the speed of our blade, and the reason behind that is because if we are doing really fine detail cuts and we don't want to make a mistake, we can slow that blade speed down. And if we're doing rough cuts, we can increase the blade speed to make quicker cuts. Because the slower the blade speed is moving, the longer it's going to take to make the cut. So if I have the blade speed all the way down to its slowest setting and turn the machine on, we can get an idea of how the blade moves. So that is our slowest speed setting. And then I can adjust the knob and make it a little bit quicker. And that would be the quickest setting. To adjust the workpiece foot, we have our workpiece foot lock knob. We would undo the lock knob and then we can slide the workpiece foot up and down to wherever we need it. I'm going to keep it at its highest setting because I'm going to show you how you would put your material onto the scroll saw and get it set up with the workpiece foot. So we have our material here, and what I'm going to do is slide the material being cut underneath the workpiece foot, and I'm going to release the lock knob and let the workpiece foot fall down on top of the material. We actually want the workpiece foot touching the material. It has some give to it. It has a little bit of springiness to it, and we want it to touch that material and hold it down. So then I'm going to tighten the lock knob, and now the material is actually being held down in place by the workpiece foot. And the reason behind that is because this blade is going to move up and down. And when it's moving down, it does its cutting, and when it's moving up, it's going to want to pull the material up with it. And that workpiece foot is going to keep the material down on the work table. When it's on the work table, you have much more control over it.